Yo guys, it is Ash. Let's just jump straight into this. So today we are doing a Premier League prediction for 25-26. As you can see here, I have done a league table predictor. It's the official one on the Premier League website if you want to get along and do it yourself. And then we're actually going to go through and do the actual games, and then we'll see if it matches up to somewhere how I think the table's going to go. So, as you can see, I've got Liverpool to win it, Man City second, Arsenal, Chelsea, Newcastle fifth. I think this is a... I'm unsure where we're going to finish. I think we'll finish around fifth. I think it depends on what happens with the Isak situation. If Isak goes and we get Wissa and maybe another person in, I think we'll be okay. Isak stays, Wissa comes in. I don't know. It really depends on what the whole Isak situation. But I think we'll be... I think this top 6/7 is pretty set in stone. Apart from Brighton, actually, I'm not too sure where Brighton's going to go, because I think Palace could have a decent season this time. I think Liverpool, by the way, is going to finish this season comfortably, especially if they get Isak. If they get Isak, they're just going to smash the season. City, if they get Donnarumma, that could potentially be an absolutely amazing signing from them. But we'll see how that goes. The rest of the table, you just got Palace 8th, West Ham 9th. I think West Ham's a bit of a sleeper team at the moment. I know a lot of West Ham fans and everything are not feeling too great. I think they've got a pretty decent team. You've got like the likes of, say, Luca Paqueta coming back in from his time out, Callum Wilson joining the team. Obviously, you've got Jared Bowen. I think West Ham's going to do a lot better than what people are thinking this season. United, I've got as 10th with their changes. I think there's a lot of United fans that I think somehow they're going to jump from like 15th to 5th in one season. It's just not going to happen. You guys have still got a lot of the same players. You've not sorted out your keeper situation and stuff. I think United's going to be one of the ones that could be a bit of a dark horse. Same with Spurs. I think Everton's going to do better than what people think with having Jack Grealish. I think he could potentially go back to how he was at Villa. Fulham, I think Fulham's just going to finish around mid-table. It could be Fulham's going to be one of those teams that could finish anywhere between 10th and 15th this season. So I've got them about the middle of that. Spurs, they've got Champions League, so I think they're going to do worse than what they're expecting to. I know people are talking about how they took PSG all the way to the end, like they were 2-0 up until the 85th minute or something. Then because PSG was absolutely terrible that game. I'm sorry, they literally did not have a pre-season. I think the game was the first game that they played before that was sometime in like mid-July or something. So they were chilling because obviously they won the Champions League and stuff. So I think that was a bit of a blip, and I think it's got people too hyped. I've seen far too many people put Spurs 5th. That's a joke. They're not. They've lost Maddison to a big ACL injury that he actually had in the preseason that was against us. I think that's going to be a big loss for them. But I think Spurs could potentially have a good season. I think it all depends on how far they go in the Champions League. Because if they get knocked out early, it could potentially make them be better. But we'll see how that goes. Forest, I think it's going to finish a lot lower than what they did before. Brentford, I think Forest was a bit of a blip season for them. Like they did so well, then started to kind of fall off towards the back of the season. I think it could be potentially same. And I'm not sure how Morgan Gibbs-White's going to be, because bro got like held at gunpoint to stay at the club. So we'll see. Brentford, don't think Brentford's going to do well. They're going to lose Wissa probably to us, which is the reason why I've got them 15th. With Wissa, they might finish a bit higher, but we'll see. Wolves, I think the bottom 5 teams here could finish in any sort of order. I think Wolves could very much go down. Sunderland, I've got them 17th because I want them to stay up. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. Granit Xhaka, I think, could potentially carry them. Decent signings this season. They had to do a full-on overhaul because of how bad their squad was, but we'll see. I think Leeds are going to go straight down, guaranteed. And then it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be a fight for relegation for these bottom 5 teams, in my opinion. So it's going to be an interesting one. Right, what we're going to do, we're going to go through this. We're going to have a quick check of the top signs teams have had today, which is on the 15th of August. So Jacob Ramsey is doing his medical today at Newcastle and stuff, so he won't be on here, but he'll be on our team. Obviously, so we'll go down teams by teams just very quickly, just to kind of go through. Zubamendi, very good signing for them, and Gyökeres. Arsenal's had a very decent window, to be fair. They've not really lost many players either, so it's been a fairly decent window for Arsenal, in my opinion. I think they still need to strengthen a little bit, but I think Arsenal are going to be pushing second or third. I don't think they're going to be. I think Liverpool are just going to fly away with this season. And there's their outgoings. I'm not really going to get massively into it. Obviously, losing Thomas Partey is probably quite a good one for their books and stuff. Kieran Tierney and everything. They've done decent well for their books this season. But yeah, we'll go down very quickly. Like I said, I'm not going to go massively in depth in all the signings just because it'll take a while. Villa haven't done that much business, to be honest. They actually had quite an in-depth squad, which is going to be our first game of the season, which we'll get into. Some of the players they got out, like the likes of Disasi, Asensio, which actually I think they were looking to get Asensio back in. Obviously, Rashford's gone off to Barcelona. Bournemouth, like I said, we'll fly through this very quickly. But Bournemouth, by the way, got quite a lot of money in this transfer window, actually, so I'm not too sure what's going on, because I would have thought they would be buying quite a lot of players like that. They've got a net of about 110 plus, so we'll see how that goes. They need to get some players in if they want to stay up. If not, it looks like they're just planning on going back down to the Championship next season. Brentford, not really much to know, and Bueno's obviously gone to Man United, which nearly came to us. Brighton, depends on the Belieber situation. Obviously, Brighton lost decent players, though, to be fair, like the likes of João Pedro and stuff. But like I said, it depends on the Belieber situation. Brighton obviously doesn't want to get rid of him, but if the right value comes in, they will sell. But then they're going to have to strengthen the team if they do. Burnley, we'll shoot past Burnley. They've not really done much. I'm presuming it'll probably get James Trafford, which have gone to Man City, which should have came to us, especially if they get Donnarumma, because Trafford will barely be playing. Chelsea has done an absolute madness, to be honest. They've done very well. The likes of Gittins. Right, let's just shoot through this, because otherwise this is going to be a 50-minute video. But Chelsea done very well. I'll go through that quickly. Done incredibly well transfer window. Look, especially like with their outgoings. Their outgoings have been nearly the same as their incomings, which has been insane, to be fair. They've done very good this season. Palace. Not really done much, but how Palace was last season, and obviously it depends on the Eze situation, actually, because Eze looks like he could be going to Arsenal, so not sure. Everton brought in like Jack Grealish on loan, I think with an option to buy, I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah, it's a loan transfer where I think they're paying. I've seen it quoted somewhere between 50 and 80% of the wages, so somewhere in between that. But yeah, and I think it was like an option to buy at 50 million, which I think was crazy because I'm pretty sure his contract runs out in 26. So if he is playing, if they do end up paying 50 million like pounds for Jack Grealish, I don't know how I feel about that. I think I would prefer just to wait until he's on a free. Neil Maupay, flipping hate that player. He's always an absolute nightmare for whenever we played against him as Brighton. Yeah, Fulham. Yeah, not really done anything. Leeds done a decent bit. I think Leeds still going to be trying to fight for relegation though. Liverpool. Yeah, let's be honest, right? Liverpool's absolutely destroyed this transfer window. It's been absolutely insane. And then if you add the likes of Isak on this, it's just going to be crazy. Like, look, their expenditure, if they get Isak on, will be about 450 million. It's in euros. 450 million euros. Don't know why it's in euros. I live in the UK, so just a bigger number, I guess. But yeah, 450 million euros is insane. They've done a decent amount. Obviously, the Diego Jota situation has forced the hand in some situations, which was absolutely terrible news for the whole of football. Let's be honest. I rated Diego Jota so highly. Whenever I did fantasy Premier League teams, they were always in mine. He was always in mine. United, yeah, gone through United a bit. Here we'll get into a bit of Newcastle. Obviously, we've got Alanga in, Malik Chow, which came in from AC Milan. €35 million with 5 mil add-ons, so very decent. Ramsdale, absolute banger. He's on a loan fee with an option to buy, so that's a great business. Hopefully he can start being our number one, actually. I know Nick Pope got the number one shirt, but that'll be good. Yeah, we'll just carry on going through some of this stuff. Not really much to know else. But yeah, like I said, here it's going to also be Jacob Ramsey on here for about £40 million. Wiss is probably going to come in. Obviously, the transfer window has not ended yet, so there's a lot of changes that still could happen. Forest, don't worry about that. Sunderland, we're ignoring Sunderland, shit team. Spurs. There's been too much hype around Spurs, in my opinion. I don't think they're going to be as high as what people are thinking they're going to be at all. West Ham, again, a lot of people have had bad things about West Ham, but I think they're going to do a lot better than what people are thinking. I think people need to keep an eye on West Ham this season. I think it's going to be a bit of a surprise to people. Unless if they lose like Paqueta. Strand Larson, yeah, I mean, we were looking at potentially getting him, but looking like we're going away from him. Obviously, yeah, the thing is, but Wolves did a decent amount. Like they got Cunha out and stuff, so I could see Wolves getting some more players in before the transfer window ends. But either way, we'll leave this up just while we go through it in case we want to come back and have a look while we're going through the scores. But what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do, like, say if I think a team's going to win 1-0 or something, because otherwise we're going to be here for a fair while. And 0-0 for a draw and stuff. Liverpool, this is going to be a no-brainer. There's going to be a destruction in this game. This game is going to be... The problem is it's at Villa Park. Our games are always a very high-scoring games. And I have a strong feeling Villa's going to win. By the way, I think we have... I'm presuming we probably had a good talk with Villa about getting Jacob Ramsey in to do it at this time. So, and we probably made an agreement and said, look, if we get him in now, we won't have him to play against you guys. So we'll have him registered probably tomorrow or something. So we'll be ready for the Liverpool game. Probably just the... Because I'm not going to lie, us two are the two teams that are constantly trying to break into this quote-unquote top six. So I feel like it's kind of going to be like us against them. So we're probably going to have a few, like, I don't know, transfers between each other and stuff at better prices or whatever to try and big each other up. Because I think that's how it should be. I like Villa and Newcastle both. I mean, obviously I like Newcastle. But we've both got a lot of football heritage. I'm a big fan of Villa as well. However, I personally think Villa are going to win this game, and that is not what I like to hear. But I think because of our striker situation, that's going to happen, because it's looking like we're going to have Gordon up front. And Gordon up front in pre-season did not look too great. So unfortunately, I think we're going to lose it. I think it's potentially going to be like a 3-1 game or something. I mean, we're always got high-scoring games against Villa. Good Evening will come in and probably do a masterclass as usual. Brighton Fulham. Brighton, West Ham. I think this is going to be... Ooh, that's actually a difficult game. This could be quite a good game to watch. But I think, because especially with Wilson on the team, they're going to be up for it. I think West Ham's going to win at Stadium of Shite. So what else we got? We've got Tottenham Burnley, 1-0. As I'm going to try and power through these now. I'll have just gone through a bit of a generic discussion about the teams, then we'll get on. Forest Brentford. Ooh. This is on the Monday? No, Sunday. Yeah, Sunday. Ooh, God. That's actually difficult. I think Forest are going to win that. Chelsea, yeah. Chelsea's just going to be destroying the season. I think that's going to be an Arsenal win. Everton Leeds. I think Everton's actually going to win that game. I don't know how. And then basically below here, let me see if I can bring this down. It will calculate the table as I go. Obviously the scoring stuff and the goal difference is going to be off. So if we get a team that's like on the same points by the end of it, I'll just say who I think is going to be higher. West Ham Chelsea. Ooh, actually. Yeah, I think that is going to happen. I think City's going to destroy Tottenham. I can see that being a draw. I think Villa's going to do well on that. I can see that being a draw. God, there's going to be a lot of teams going through this. Palace. I think Palace are going to win that. You see, I'm very intrigued how Grealish is going to be for Everton, because I think that's going to be a decider. Because if Grealish has the freedom like he did in Villa, I think he could have the potential to really thrive for them. This could be a very high-scoring game, Fulham Man United. I think Man United are going to draw that game. Us versus Liverpool. Again, another high-scoring game. This is going to be a difficult one because it depends on our striker situation. I am hoping, and I'm thinking what the team is doing is we're going to hold out selling on Isak until we're very close to this, and then get him over the line so he doesn't actually play for them. I think we're actually going to win this game. It's at Villa Park, so I think Villa's going to win. Villa Park's they've got an unbelievable record there, with good reason. Chelsea, yeah, that's not even going to be close. Brentford, I think, beats some. Actually, do you know what? I think that's going to be a draw. Wolves, Everton, I think that's going to be like that. We're going to beat Leeds. City, Brighton. Comfortable Man City win that. Obviously, as I go through, I might end up changing my sort of predictions as the window goes and stuff. I mean, to be fair, I may just do up to the end of September, because otherwise we're going to be here for a while. Then I might come back and revisit this when we get there. So where are we? We've got Forest, West Ham. This is going to be a draw written all over it. I think, yeah. That's going to be an unbelievable game, by the way. So get that in your calendars, but I think that Liverpool is going to win at Anfield. And they'll have the Isak striker situation sorted out by then. Arsenal, Forest. Arsenal wins at the Emirates. I think Brighton's going to beat Bournemouth. Palace are going to beat Sunderland. Actually, I'm going to say that's a draw. Villa's going to beat Everton. I could see Leeds nicking a game against Fulham. It's going to be hard away, but you never know. Craven Cottage, they could end up just nicking one. We're going to smash Wolves at home. I don't think that's going to be a problem. The Hammers versus Spurs. This is a good game. I think West Ham's actually going to win that. Chelsea, Chelsea's going to bat them. No, Jesus Christ, that's going to be an absolute hammer in that game, I think. The City, the Manchester derby. It's at City Ground as well. I think City's going to beat it. I don't think Man United have got even not near enough. The Merseyside derby. It's at Anfield again. It's just going to be one-sided. We're going to beat Bournemouth. Spurs are going to... actually, because it's at Brighton, I think it's... actually, do you know what? I think Brighton's going to beat Spurs with it being at Brighton. I can see that happening. Let's go through here. Palace, West Ham. At West Ham. Going to be getting the bubbles out. Wolves versus United. Now, this is a relegation scrap. I think Leeds... it's at Wolves, though. Yeah, do you know what? I'm going to say... I'm going to say Leeds are going to win that. Man United, Chelsea, again, I mean Chelsea's just going to be very, very comfortably third this season, potentially. A lot of people think there's a chance that Chelsea could be fighting for the title. I don't think they're too far off that. But it's going to be hard because, like I said, Liverpool they're so far ahead of everyone at the moment, and City are very much underspoken about. Right, we'll finish on week 6. So we've got Fulham, Brentford. Let's say, I think it's going to be a draw actually. Someone's just going to lose that game. Actually, do you know what? Yeah, they are. Arsenal City. Now this is going to be a game for second, and I think this is going to have a draw written all over that. I think that's going to be a complete draw. And then we've got Man United are going to beat Brentford. Villa's going to win at home. I think that's going to be a 0-0. Leeds Bournemouth. Do you know, I think, yeah, it's going to be. I think it's going to be a 0-0 actually. Do that. Yep, it's at Forest Ground. Spurs Wolves. I do think Spurs are going to win that, if I'm going to be honest. Newcastle Arsenal at St James's Park. Right, now this is going to be an interesting one. Will be a bit more settled. So will Arsenal. Yokeres will have had some time. I think this is a pretty bad time to play Arsenal, to be honest, because they'll have had quite a bit of time to settle their new players in. God. I think it's going to be a close game, this. I think we're going to nick it. Definitely no bias in that. Right, anyway, let's get Everton West Ham. I think Everton's going to win that game. Right. That's what I'm going to do for the moment, just because otherwise we're going to be here for a flipping hour-long video. But as it stands, with how it's gone, I think somehow Villa's going to be first. Wow, I didn't think I would be saying that. Obviously, this could be subject to change because, like I said, I've just done 1-0s and stuff where I think some of them will be high-scoring games and there could be a goal here and there that might nick it. But as it stands, let's just see where it is compared to this. Top 5 is more or less the same apart from Villa. 6th. We've got Brighton up there. We've even got Everton. I mean, but it also depends on who they're playing. But yeah, as it stands, it says what the relegation team are going to be. Wolves, Burnley, Bournemouth, which is more or less what I got. But I've got Leeds instead of who's it instead of Wolves. But yeah, we'll see how it goes as we go along through the window, and I'll see if I can do another update. But let me know how the window's been going for all of your teams down below. I think as a Newcastle fan, it's gone very well. And to be honest, I think there's been too much noise around the Isak situation, which has kind of overshadowed everything else and all the other business we've done. I think it's a lot better than what people are making it out to be. All we've done is we've basically strengthened every single position on our team apart from the striking role. And when we get that sorted, I will be very happy and excited to see what we're like in the Champions League in this season. So guys, let me know your comments. Let me know if you do a predictor as well. Put it down below. Who you're going to finish? Who you think the top? We'll say 7 is, just in case we get an extra spot again. But yeah, let me know what the top 7 is and who's going to get relegated. And I will see you soon. Peace.